Time to play the game. Time to play the game!
Hello everyone, and welcome to MMO Hunter. Today on MythChat, I jump into the betas of Wildstar and Guild Wars 2. Wildstar is making the transition into free-to-play this fall. Currently, they are testing out new features and game changes to ensure the transition is smooth. One of the new features being added is a fairly comprehensive cash shop. But unlike other games, the focus of the shop is mostly cosmetic and fun items with little in the way of buffs and bonuses. Carbon has taken a very vocal stance addressing the concerns of players, stating that its in-game shop will not be pay to win. The cash shop features two types of currencies, N-Coin and Omnibits. N-Coin is a cash currency, while Omnibits can be earned in-game doing various activities. You can use Omnibits just like N-Coin to purchase items from Wildstar's cash shop and never actually have to spend real cash. There are some items, however, that will not be available with Omnibits, but that list seems to be rather limited. One of these items are fortune coins. Fortune coins are used in Madame Faye's fortune shop, a sort of adorable and addicting way to waste tons of money. Here you use fortune coins to pay for Madame Faye's fortunes as she rewards you with 3 randomized items. Each time you use a coin, the carrot meter on the side fills, increasing your chances of getting better items. There are tons of little things in here to get, from mounts to pets, to cosmetic armor sets and weapons, crafting materials, convenience items, and even more Omnibits and outfit dyes. Wildstar also made a big change to its introduction, giving its players 3 types of modes to start. A sort of introduction to MMOs, a general introduction to Wildstar, or a veteran mode which just lets you jump right into the game. I'll do a deeper look at all of these intros, but one small issue I had with the change was the decision to make the introduction story more serious rather than lighthearted and fun, which I've come to expect from Wildstar. Maybe this is a turnoff for some players and they made the decision to darken it up a little bit, but I felt it was unnecessary. Like I said, I'll take a closer look at this experience to give you my final verdict later on. Next up, Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns had its first beta weekend, allowing players to get a glimpse of things to come. This was the first real look at the Revenant, a heavy armor and weapon class that uses the power of legendary heroes. It's an interesting class and certainly looks cool. It did feel different to me because of my general preference for sitting back and shooting things at range. So being up close in combat with spells that I didn't understand was entertaining to say the least. Who needs to read how spells work anyway? Yes, I died a lot in this encounter. However, I did this encounter twice. The first time I did this on my ranged character, and I had no problems. The second had way more enemies spawning, making it freaking impossible to actually do anything. One of the interesting features of Heart of Thorn's leveling experience is the lack of actual leveling. Rather, it focuses on a mastery system, where you put your experience to use improving the masteries you want in the order you want them. One thing I can say about gameplay, it's hard, and it's meant to be that way. Almost, but not quite to the point of being frustrating. Monsters are tough and utilize mechanics that force you to stay on your A-game constantly. My concern, especially with this initial starting area for the expansion, is that the encounters may be tuned a little too high. At the time I was playing, there were few, if any, players around, making any sort of progression near impossible. Also, the lack of waypoints that weren't contested was a bit of a frustrating factor, as I died a lot, and I had to start over all the way back at the beginning of the zone. Now, understandably, most of these encounters are designed for multiple people, but it does show that if there is no one else in a particular map, players may become discouraged. Apart from the flurry of bugs, encounters not finishing, monsters one-shotting me, and one misstep could mean instant death, I thought it was an interesting experience, actually, and I look forward to continuing the next chapter of the Guild Wars story. On a side note, in the coming weeks I'm going to begin a new series on the lore and stories of various game franchises. Lots of people focus solely on gameplay, but for me, lore makes or breaks the game. The first series will be an attempt to understand the complex world of Warcraft. But till then, this is Mythka, logging out.